glad to have you join us on Art House. I'm Melinda Akinlami. On the program today, we have a live drawing session and other fun art activities at a Lagos Comic Convention. Then, according to veteran author J.P. Clark, the best works in sculpture have been born out of nature. We see that in this group exhibition, also in the commercial city. That and more after we hear from our wordsmith, who coincidentally also created the work of art he used to complement his words.
Our wordsmith titled The Jubilant Sound by Showcase Damola. Everything seemed down and dull. Everyone kept wandering about and around. Everybody was preparing for the worst. Could this be the end or what? Amidst the pandemonium, the mighty were falling. All nations shut their borders. Every business must be closed. Every gathering must be shunned. All interactions must be spaced. All noses must be covered. And simple hand washing was said to be a way out. Life became a war front, living between days and nights, between rumors and news, between truth and false, between life and death. Scores were taken like it was the Olympics. All seers suddenly lost sight. Alas, heaven spoke to no one again. Some lost loved ones, some lost neighbors, some lost a great population, and some lost count, while the monster became a chameleon. Just at the beam of the new normal, the storm seems fading, a vaccine was found, all locks were carefully opened, all hopes are restoring gradually, that at least we could live with the monster. And so here comes the jubilant sound, for we could live as one again.
It's been dubbed one of the biggest geek markets on the continent as creatives, especially young people, look forward to expressing themselves and making people laugh through their African comic stories.
Exciting times for these creatives who get to display ingenuity to their peers, contemporaries, and an audience to cheer them on as they gather for the Lagos Comic Convention, a highly anticipated show for lovers of art who have a sense of humor.
The whole idea of having this event is to bring all these industries together, to network and leverage like we've always done for the past 10 years. And it's a great one. We are so grateful for the crowd. And so the event is actually about helping the creative industries to grow. We know the government is actually doing a lot to encourage creative people. After the EndSARS issue, people came up and shouted out like, look, we are creative people, we're not scammers, we are creative people. So we're trying to create an avenue for them to actually showcase their work and really stand out and say, look, government see us, this is what we can do, support us. And that's what Lagos Comic Con is about.
Carnival of creative art where every kind of expression of art is allowed to be celebrated. Give it a space where people who appreciate it can find it, where you know that, okay, I love art, I love the African story being told through creative art, and in that place you can go and find it. And where if you're a creator too, you're someone who creates this art, whether in comics, animation, in films, in books, in the literary community also. So that place that as a creator you can go there and meet people who have been looking for you, who appreciate what you're doing. Because in the end, it's up to us to tell our stories.
Not all humor merchants ply their trade by going on stage or recording their act. Others just have loads of laughter in their bellies which find expression in art through interesting comics and cartoons.
Lagos Comic Con is really heavy. It's really heavy on arts. Like you can see, you see people sketching, young people sketching. Some people are doing like paintings and stuff. It's very, very heavy on art because the foundation of everything is art. Whether it's film, animation, gaming, or even comics, it's art. And we are really heavy on that. We are really supporting the arts culture and the arts industry, especially the artworks that represent the African narrative. And that's what we are really trying to do here. Art. Yes, everybody's talking about technology, but what about art? You know, art is also important. And how do we leverage art and technology together to give us something that we can all be proud of? One thing I've realized is that the film industry is connected to the illustration industry, the comic industry, because of storyboards and stuff. So all of them are kind of connected. So, you know, we've had events with several events having their own different things. But we just thought, let's bring everybody together under one space and then let them network and then learn from each other and then collaborate, because that's what we actually need. And that's why Lagos Comic Con is very important now. You know, especially now that the morale is very low and everybody is down based on COVID. We want to lift up the spirit that the creative space is not dead. You know, we are still alive and we are doing well.
We cannot tell our stories more appropriately than the kind of art we appreciate as Africans. I say this, as Africans, art has always been our thing. From cave wall paintings, from the hieroglyphics of Egypt and all that, from our origin, we are artistic people, and nothing can take that away. It's like in our DNA. So a better way to tell the story of our journey, where we're coming from, and even where we are, to express ourselves, we need to find the artistic side of it. You know, our forefathers did not write, but they told stories, because they drew, they painted, they sculpted. Like, if you look at our sculptures from several centuries back, you would see stories in those sculptures. If you look at the Benin bronze sculptures, you will see stories being told. You will see the faces of the sculpture. If it's a woman, you will tell what she's been through. It tells you what the community of that era was. So the best way to tell our stories to the world and allow and in a way that they appreciate what we are, where we are coming from, and our story properly being told, is through art.
I've been working on a project that has to do with the influence of Western pop culture on the local pop culture. So I've done some documentary on the slangs we use on the street and the stickers from the Lagos Danfo buses, which is the Mickey Mouse, which is one of the prominent ones. We have other characters which are used, but I probably see that people are not documenting this trend of Western influence on our local popular culture. So I came here to show my research work, and I have a couple of collections that also talks about those slangs like Bera, Shakara, Igboro, all the things you hear from the conductors and the Agberos and the average Lagosian. That's actually what my work it's about. So you can check this Owoda, Owokini, and that's why I'm here today.
From one end of the hall to the other is packed hands busy scribbling, others armed with their mobile phones, technology to the rescue, but the goal is the same.
One thing that arts has been able to do for a lot of people is give hope to a lot of people. Like for me now, when I was schooling, I have this concept that you can't really do anything with art, but because of some opportunity that I got, I get to understand that you can use the talent that you got, the artistic skill that you have, and to make a living for yourself. You know, a lot of people are here, people are doing comics, people are doing animation, and we have a lot of studios with over 30 people, 50 people, and they are making a living out of it. So you're telling me that people can do art and succeed. So art is really an important factor in this world right now, and Lagos Comic Con is an evidence.
what we do is we tell African stories, unapologetic African stories. And one of our titles, we have Jakota. One of our major comic book is Jakota. And you can see it around. We have prints there and so many other things like that. Jakota is basically Shango in the Yoruba belief system. So that is basically what our comic is about. And these are people who are contesting to get the 40,000 Naira Jakota art contest. So that's what they are all doing there.
The live drawing session is just one part of the lineup, which aims to inspire these group of creatives to keep doing what they do.
Interesting, giving you something different on the program. Well done, people. And we have more youths express themselves on our Facebook page. And when Art House returns in a moment, so join us then. The works of art you sent in explore an array of topics. Let's start with this one called Deep Thought by Theophilus Agunwa. It's a mixed media on canvas work. Then Dumbo Debe has this ballpoint pen drawing on archival paper, which he calls One Love. He's capturing the reggae artist Bob Marley. Then this pen on paper work done by Blessing Adeyinka is titled Struggle. It's talking about the battle of the mind. While Had I Known is a pen on paper work done by Belu Toby. Fragile Thought is a work done by Collins Laye. It's done with mixed media. Then Eyo is an oil on canvas piece done by Olatunji Atunrase. Kitchen Utensils is a work done with poster colors on cardboard by Oluwatimileyin Alani. Then still coming from the Big Brother fever, we have this work done by Precious Art. He calls it White Money. It's done with pencil and charcoal on paper. Then another one which looks like the host, Sebuka, is done with black pen on paper by Chijioke Olasi. He calls it Chief. Then Dengue Pose is how Paul captures his work, done with mixed media. And that concludes the works of art you sent in this week. We appreciate you for sending them in and encourage you to keep them coming. And also remember to capture them and caption them correctly so that we'll show it on Art House.
Fear and creativity don't mix well.
Like it or not, some collectors are always going for the hard stuff, that's sculptural pieces. So this group exhibition, Sculptured Nature, Beauty and Motion in Lagos, is sure to catch your eye and perhaps get others to fall in love with this art form.
The chiseled wonders take up every inch of the space. From outside to inside the exhibition hall in Lagos, no area is left out as the works of art need room to breathe and allow the audience to inhale the beauty they exude, whether in their metal, stone, or blended formation.
We decided to make it an exhibition of all sculptures titled Sculptured Nature, Beauty and Motion. So basically we want to debate and show beauty in human form, in every form, using sculpture and different medium, having sculptors to show their artworks, their creatives in using different mediums. So in here we have about 7 artists exhibited here, and we have different medium. We have stone, bonded stone artworks, we have metalworks, we have bronze, we also have marble chips, and we have the woodwork in here.
That explanation by the curator gives us a window into what this exhibition is all about. And there's an array of artists who've worked tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure this show is a reality and the essence is not lost.
Yeah, we decided to just show sculptures, not just painting. In other shows we have paintings, but this particular one we just wanted sculpture works, just depicting beauty and motion using sculptures.
That variety is displayed in each of the pieces. For instance, some of the bust heads are not like the regulars. Other elements have been fused into them.
All of the artists, they are great creatives. I enjoy their work. Hence, I'm showing them, and they are all professionals, not amateur at all. You can see that all of these works are all perfectly done. The time, the details is really interesting, and that is what interests me most and making me put this together. So all of the artists and the works in here are just fantastic. This is a bonded stone piece done by an artist, David Banaki. So this one, he's telling stories about human. You can see it has two faces, the male version and the female version. You can see the beauty, the color, all the patterns very well put together. Talking about human, we have a lot of people bearing the burden of a male and female. For example, in upbringing of a child, there are a lot of single parents, even people who are married. There are a lot of men doing the work of a woman in the life of a child and that of the life of a man. And he's so comfortable and he's able to put it together and doing it perfectly well as a father. So that is what he is trying to, depict here. When you look at the work, it's just beautiful and awesome. So irrespective of which position, or irrespective of the position you place the work, there is just something interesting about it. You have the male version, the beauty in the front and at the back, even on the side view. It's just awesome. And looking at it, you wouldn't know that this is a stone at all. It's perfectly and well finished.
Most of my works, I love doing people rejoicing, dancing. Like that, this one behind me, is, I call it rhythm. Because without we hear music to have joy, to be dancing, and joy, music gives us joy, because we can't dance without having joyful things in your mind, from your inner mind. I love seeing things be happy all the time.
I work with different mediums. This is the one I'm exhibiting, this sculpture, beauty, and nature and exhibition. So I get this idea from Mabu. It's a Mabu chiefs. So I title it Woman Identity, because we know women with their soft feeling and innocent emotion. So if you see a woman for the first time, even if the woman is wicked or bad person, you won't know that she's wicked or something, but you will see her with the innocent look. So that's why I title it Woman Identity.
Same with some of the other works of art at this Sculptured Nature exhibition, which shows beauty in motion and gives credence to the words of veteran writer J.P. Clark that indeed the best works in sculpture have been born out of nature.
I have lots of things to share with you. I mean, artists are just on fire with their creations.
Next week on Art House, we finally see the conclusion of that Waste to Wealth practical session in Abuja as the artists showcase it all in this exhibition. Then we return to Lagos to see the works of art displayed at the Biodun Omolayo Gallery. That and more when you tune in to the next episode.
Your Art House experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Art House on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Art House on Channels. We're everywhere.
So much to anticipate on the next episode of the program as you continue to hit us up on any of our social media platforms where the conversation continues. And do remember that you can see this and any other episode of Art House by going to our YouTube page. I'm Melinda Akinlami, encouraging you to stay safe and keep being creative.